NASCAR's gone through a lot of change in the past 10 years, but what about the next 10 years? Let's talk about it. Motorsports is ever changing. There's always things being updated. Safety gets updated all the time. There's new technologies that come out, new people, new tracks, things change. That's kind of the nature of motorsports, and nothing can stop it because it just kind of is what it is. Unfortunately, motorsports fans are incredibly nostalgic, and NASCAR fans are no exception to that. I grew up in the 90s, so I grew up watching Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jeff Gordon and Ernie Irvan, Hunt Strickland even. Like, I went to Halloween dressed as Dale Earnhardt multiple times. So I have a lot of nostalgia for NASCAR in the 90s, specifically. Now, one thing I do think is really important is I don't think we should let nostalgia keep us from enjoying what's in front of us, because it's going to be different, and that's just the further away we get from 80s NASCAR, 70s NASCAR, 90s NASCAR, it's going to be different. And I do think in the next 10 years we're going to have a lot of changes, and some of them are going to be great changes and they're going to be very welcome, and some of them are going to be kind of tough pills to swallow. The first change I see coming is a very welcome one, and I think we're definitely going to see more short tracks. That is coming. We at least know we're getting Auto Club reconfigured to be a short track, and I would not be surprised if there's something else up someone's sleeve somewhere in the NASCAR industry. Obviously, historic racetracks are what we'd want, but I think any short track is going to be welcome. I think Auto Club's going to give us something that we've never seen before. It seems like a very unique configuration, so I'm excited about that one. But you know, we'll have to kind of see what NASCAR does with it, but I think we can very safely say we're getting more short tracks. Another major change is that we're likely going to see more OEMs show up in the sport. Now, there's a lot with this, and I think bringing more OEMs is a great thing, and I think we should all be very excited that companies like Honda or someone like that might want to invest money into NASCAR. I think that's a very encouraging, good thing to see. However, a lot of these OEMs don't want to come in and build an 850 horsepower monster of an engine. They're going to want to build something closer to 500 to 600 horsepower. And that's kind of why NASCAR is doing the lower horsepower packages right now, because they want to kind of prepare people for that, I think. You got to keep in mind, cars didn't always have 850 horsepower. We built up to that very slowly over time. There might be a world where we get some of that power back through some form of electrification. It's just a little unclear about how that's going to be implemented. And I don't really have a solid opinion on that right now because we don't have all the information on it. So we'll kind of have to see about that one. I think seeing more manufacturers coming into the sport, however, is going to be a good thing. I think we can't complain about that, and I think that's going to be something that's very welcome. That's been something that people have missed over the past few years. The last big change I see coming is I see NASCAR increasing in popularity over the next decade. I think NASCAR is in a good place to be able to attract new fans without running off old fans, and they've kind of struggled with that over the past 10 years, 20 years, you know, in this effort to try to attract younger, newer fans, which they really do need to do. Legitimately, they have to do that. I think a lot of the people that are going to leave have left already, and the people that are still sticking around are the people that are going to stick around no matter what. I think we'll probably see a good bump in ratings over the next few years. This year, we've seen things kind of level off, and even with the pandemic, we've seen some races up. They've been experimenting with race times and different things like that. But even in my circle of people that are not NASCAR fans, I've heard a little bit more chatter than normal about NASCAR and the sport and stuff. So, you know, I've been noticing it increase in popularity even in just small pockets of my life. Obviously, time will tell. All of these things I've been talking about here, I think we'll have to kind of wait and see how they play out over the next decade. I think there are a lot of good things in the pipeline. Obviously, motorsports is always changing. There's always new technologies, new people, new innovations happening, and it's just gonna change, and that's the nature of it. We don't know what the world is gonna look like in 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, so it's hard to really predict. A lot of this is just speculation. Obviously, my opinion is not the gold standard of opinions. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. I like to see what you guys have to say. I don't like it all just to be me word vomiting at you. I like to hear your thoughts too. Also, if you could give me a like and a subscribe, those things would be so great. And if you could share the video somewhere, that would be even better. I would vastly appreciate that, and that would mean so much to me. Anyways, I'm Tyler. This is Tight End Loose Off, and I'll see you next time.